Hey Instagram family, Dr. Renee here on a Friday night. And I wanted to pop on because there's something that's been weighing heavy on my heart all week that I want to talk to you about. And I want to make this a PSA, a public service announcement, because I don't think many people know the dangers of this particular substance. So I have been thinking about this topic all week because I was conversing with a journalist for an article, and it was on organic tampons. Now, don't worry, this video is not on organic tampons. However, it did come up about the use of the plastic applicator, and I had recommended using either a cardboard applicator or no applicator. And reason being is because many of, and not the case anymore, because we all know BPA is not good for us, right? And it took how long for us to figure that out. But now there's question as far as the substitutes for BPA, their safety, okay? And not only that, they're phthalates, which is another estrogenic compound or hormone disruptor that is in plastic that may be in tampon applicators. So again, this is not about tampons, but what came up when I was going back and forth with the journalist was to quote some studies about the dangers of these new plastics. And I did find 3 studies. Unfortunately, they were not on humans because I have to look it up, but the alternatives to BPA have not been out long, right? And look, for instance, when I was growing up, my bottles were probably all BPA bottles, or maybe I had glass bottles back then because I am almost 47. But guys, when my kids were little, all of the plastic bottles were BPA bottles, right? And now we're like, oh my God, that's toxic. We can't be giving it to our kids. So now nobody wants BPA anything. It even lines inside of cans, right? So now they've come up with this different plastic that's a BPA alternative, BPS, but there are some, and then there's others. There are questions as far as the safety of these other plastics. So my plea to you guys is, listen, we don't know this is not like to scare you about living in this world, because there's a lot of toxins in this world and we can't put ourselves in a bubble, but there's a few things that you can do to protect yourself, okay? And that's my point of this video. My point is, let's not wait till it's proven toxic for us to stop using plastic, okay? It's not good for the environment, and that was the other organic tampon argument. There are a few tampon companies that are making them biodegradable and plant-based, or recycled plant products, or plant-based. But to keep it simple for everybody, I said cardboard or no applicators, okay? Because plastic's not good for the environment, that's number one, but it's not good for us. And again, I don't want 10, 15 years from now us to say, oh, look at that, this alternative to BPA is not good for us either. And we should not have been, drinking water from plastic water bottles, or, using the canned food that has the lining that's a BPA alternative. But guess what? It wasn't any safer. And so I had to step back when she asked me for the science, and that's all cool. I'm all science-based, right? But there are certain things that when it starts showing in mouse studies that something is toxic, yes, we're not mice, but it may pertain to people, correct? So my plea to you guys is, whenever possible, don't use plastic, okay? Because we don't know the effects, even if it says BPA free. I even jumped on that bandwagon back then. I wasn't doing functional medicine at the time, but as soon as I was like, oh, we've got a safe alternative now, I can have plastic again or consume from plastic. No. So try to get a water bottle that's stainless steel, or a glass water bottle. I know, I travel too, and when I'm traveling, sometimes I'll have to grab a plastic water bottle. That is fine. But when you're at home, don't drink out of plastic. Don't drink out of plastic water bottles. I have one of those hydro flasks that I drink from. Try not to eat canned foods whenever possible. And if you are in, your storage containers, try to get glass storage containers. And if you have to use plastic, fine. But here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to heat food in plastic. Okay, because what happens is that the heat causes the chemicals from the plastics to leach into the food, and then what do? You eat the food. So there's your exposure right there. Or, drink from a water bottle that's in the car that's been hot, that's heated up, and then you drink from it, ew, first of all, gross, hot water. But number two, that hot water in the water bottle has leached the chemicals from the plastic into your water, and now you're drinking it, okay? So whenever possible, glass, whenever possible, if you have to use plastic, don't heat plastic. So take, you have the storage containers that are plastic, fine. I know glass can be expensive. Take it out of the glass or plastic, put it in glass and heat it up, okay? Wherever possible, guys. I even talk to you guys, if you watch my stories, I'm constantly dropping healthy hints. But one, drinking from those plastic tops for like Starbucks and such, I'm sorry, is not good because you're basically leaching the plastic from the tops. So you don't want, if you have a hot coffee, I'm sorry. If you have a hot coffee, keep the lid on for safety's sake, but take the lid off when you want to drink it, okay? If you're driving, put it back on. Don't be unsafe about hot coffee, but take the lid off when you want to drink from it, okay? So whenever possible, avoid plastic. If you have to consume from plastic, such as a storage container, make sure that you don't heat up in it. And glass water bottles or stainless steel water bottles whenever possible. Limit your plastic or your canned products. Did I miss any other plastics? Obviously plastic forks and knives and what have you. Limit your exposure. Again, I don't expect you to be put in a bubble, but whenever you can, if you're at home, try to keep it glass, try to stay away from the plastics. Okay, guys? Because I don't want us in 10 or 15 years being like, oh, we should have not consumed from that plastic water bottle, storage container, whatever, okay? And certainly if you have kids, think about your kids because that's what I do. I treat myself one way and, obviously my kids the same way. So I don't want any of us having plastic. Okay, that is my public service announcement for this Friday night. I hope you enjoyed and look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Bye. Where's my and? There's my and.